We're live.
Hey, Nugget. How are you?
She
Fully
lit,
strangers
so that was
in my
like, I'm
house.
so glad y'all took the cold and she will stir. She's lit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Lenessa?
Good evening, everyone. We're live. We're going to wait for some folks to come in.
Yeah.
We have our co-host that will be joining us shortly. We're back with the Smoking Jacket broadcast. Myself here and Chris Riley,
Hey.
a.k.a. Dr. Say-So,
That's
a.k.a.
That is
Mr.
it.
Smoking Jacket.
That is it.
Rob
All
is
right.
coming in.
Folk coming in the
You cut
room.
off.
Yeah, I know. It's just not going to do anything until she sits down.
Okay.
I'm sitting down.
Hey, Rob.
No, you have
Welcome
to
to the show.
actually be right here
Welcome
in
back.
order for the camera to.
Oh, yeah, well, come on.
No problem. All right.
All right, let's see what we got going on here.
All right. Yeah,
We
you
can hear
sounding
you,
good,
Rob.
man. Sounding good. Looking good. Look like a new environment you in there.
Yeah.
And here comes Jay.
Okay, how you guys doing?
That's right.
Yeah.
Good. Everything's good.
Good to
What's up,
see
man?
everybody.
Man, everything's good. How you?
I'm good,
No,
man.
Good to be back. Good to be
Yeah.
back. So,
Rob, you got to upgrade the studio, Rob? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I changed my office around a little bit. I had to make some changes.
okay. And we are live at Marie Monroe's place with Nugget. She's getting a little treatment now. She'll join us in a few moments, but we're just going to open up the show and see how everybody's been doing. It's been, can y'all believe it's been a little over a year since we started the Smoking Jacket broadcast? We're still, yes. Our first show was and we're in March again.
It's been a year, man. I just renewed and paid for the subscription to the StreamYard again.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been a year, man.
It's all Jay Ferg's fault.
Yeah, but I'm
It
kind
ain't my fault.
I'm kind of baffled right now with Jay Ferg, what he has on. Are you home or are you somewhere?
For me?
He's in an undisclosed location.
Do I look like I'm dressed for South Florida right now?
Yeah, because I'm about to. You in one of them undisclosed locations again?
Yeah.
Yes, another undisclosed location.
All right, man. No problem. No worries. No worries. Look, let me log on Facebook and see who we got on so far. And look at the show started. Is doing her thing with the baby. She is right now perfect and doing her breathing treatment. So as soon as she gets situated, our host will our honoree will be on shortly.
She's actually coming over.
She's coming over now. So
Hey Jay, you dress like you getting ready to go
so
get somebody, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Bringing you guys.
Look at it.
I'm just trying to stay warm right now.
Well, one of the things so far, I got the message for commenting. Thank you for welcoming us back. Ivy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to stay on here and see who's commenting because of these comments and getting them on the I thought I had that taken care of, but without further ado, let me see if we can get Grandma in here.
Okay, here she comes.
There she is. Our closer to me, yeah.
Yeah, closer.
This way, yeah.
Different environment. We're not in the smoke.
Yeah, we are. We're at Marie Monroe's house, and she's getting this thing together, getting the baby right. It is Texas, believe me. I got here a little early and seen everything she's going through, and I'll tell you, well, you know what? This is you good. It'll pan in a minute.
So the Smoking Jacket broadcast, for those of you who viewers that are out there, you know we've been trying to bring you something special. This is one of our sisters of the league. Our community is a strong community, and we do a lot of partying, smoking, drinking, and hanging out but we certainly like to give back as well. We have organizations that give back, and our community gives back as well. So we have today a special guest, and again, Marie Monroe. And Marie is well known locally. Rob is cheering. We're familiar with her, most of us on the show. She's worked in some of the local lounges. She's also been a part of some of the women's groups in the cigar community. And she's a grandma now. A year ago, she started taking care of her beautiful granddaughter, affectionately known as Nugget, but her name is Marie. And we want to hear her story today. We want you to understand what she's been dealing with, the love that she's exuding for her grandchild, and all that she's been through. It's been a lot. You've seen her on Facebook. Many of you have given birthday presents when she turned a year old back in October. You guys gave her birthday presents. And we follow her story. A little Nugget, this is my first time meeting her in person because, of course, health concerns. We have to be delicate with who's around her. So we had to take our COVID test before we got here today, send her the results and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce you to Marie and let her tell her story, introduce herself.
Hi, how are you? You got it, girl.
Hi, everybody. Oh my God.
Hello. Let me.
Hello.
Hey.
Let me get them back in the picture here. That's Jay Ferg.
Hi, Jay Ferg.
Rob.
Rob.
All right.
Hello.
Jay is putting some in the air for smoking some.
Oh yeah, put one in the air.
Yeah, both
wait, Rob smoking.
Rob is smoking.
Rob, where the tequila at?
It's never too far away.
You decide. I just want you to sip once for me.
No, I'll count on it. I will absolutely right now.
I had one.
We work my way to it.
Okay.
So Marie, tell us about your granddaughter and yourself.
So this is Marie.
Yay!
Own little personality. I like to just say Nugget or Marie before I say my granddaughter because she's such a special little girl.
And where did Nugget come from? Tell us.
Nugget comes from her being. Let me cut this off a little bit. Finish.
She just had her treatment.
Finish.
And she's been so good since she's been here.
I was just getting word. Thank you, Cheryl Walker, for that. I think that the machine was giving interference to the. No, that's quite all right. That's all right. We had to get her treatment, and her treatment is up the way. The machine is off. Thank y'all for being patient with us, and I appreciate everyone being patient. But we had to get Nugget her little treatment.
So just in case you guys didn't hear, with the machine going, we are here today in person with Marie Monroe and Marie, aka Nugget, who we're currently doing a fundraiser for, and we're just so happy that we're able to be in person with her. We see her all the time on Facebook, but you guys we want to give you a chance to meet them and hear her story. Please share this broadcast right now. Take a moment, share it with your friends, share the link to donate, which is on our Facebook page. And this this show will be here on YouTube for you to view later to continue to donate. We've had some generous donations coming in thus far, and we'll shout out some folks later, but we certainly want to hear from Marie and her story.
Okay, so you were asking where does Nugget come from?
Yes.
And Nugget comes from her being in the NICU within the first, maybe, she didn't have a nickname until about,
She's watching her show.
maybe 4 to 6 weeks old.
Okay.
And she was just this little ball of skin and bones. And she just looked like a little nugget laying in this, incubators are tiny. She was so much tinier than the incubator at 3.1 pounds. And I was just like, oh my God, look at this cute little nugget. And it just stuck one day.
Okay.
Yeah, I came back the next day and the nurses was like, oh, your little nugget's doing fine. Somebody actually let me call her my cute little nugget. And it just kept going. Nugget. Yeah. And even to this day, with her being 16 months, she's still tiny on the U.S. scale of children, babies, and where they're supposed to be at this age. And even on the preemie side, she's still underweight for the preemie side, but she's thriving. She's 20 pounds, and you can't tell her that. She's getting it around. She's starting to get a little chunk on her arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And her legs.
And her legs. She's a little chunky now.
Okay. And many of, like I said, many in the community have seen her story on Facebook, and we've seen pictures and kind of chronicled her journey. But not everybody knows the real story. So tell us Nugget's story.
So Nugget is, I'm her paternal grandma. My son and her mother chose to live a lifestyle that wasn't fit in the eyes of the law for a baby, and they were both deemed unfit to take care of the baby.
Okay.
And when she was born under the influence of cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. Yes, Granny's lashes, grandma eyes,
and look at
eyes, but it's grandma's lashes. And she suffered. So she was almost 3 months premature. Nugget wasn't due until the end of December, and she was born October because of the trauma that she was receiving in the womb. Doctors had to, induce mom's labor and take her from her mother. When parents are deemed unfit, social services gets involved. The hospital calls police calls social services. Social services got involved, and what they do is reach out to any family member that they can find, see if any family member is willing to take care of the baby. If not, the baby goes in foster care.
Okay. And people don't really understand how that works either, because you can't just say, I'm the grandmother and I'll take her. There's a whole process.
It's a whole process. Even me being the grandmother, I still had to do a background. Anybody that I know that potentially would come in contact with the baby had to do a background. My mother had to do a background. Anybody that babysat had to do a background. Not only do they do a background, they come to your house. They want to see where your, this is stored, that is stored. Where's the baby going to sleep? Where's her food stored? And I remember the social worker coming in. I said, where her food stored? In the refrigerator, in the cabinet. And she said, well, what people don't know, some of that stuff we see on TV, Lifetime movies and stuff, some people do have the food stored with the dog food and under the sink and mistreating children. So they do a very thorough background. So even though I'm the grandmom, I still had to go through the hoops and the haws and filling out 118 pieces of paper and bank statements, everything, all the child, your relationship with your family. It was a very in-depth background in order to take care of my grandchild.
And have you completed the process?
Yes, I officially became her foster parent, I want to say in July or August.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. It was a process from February. Actually, it started a little bit before February. They knew before she got discharged from the hospital that she was coming home to me. She's born in October, and by a couple of days after she was born, mom was deemed unfit, and by December, dad was deemed unfit. Okay. So she spent 111 days in the hospital, and we knew for the last 2 months prior that she was coming home to me. So it took 6-7 months for the background and everything to go through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chris, Rob, Jay, you guys have any questions for Marie?
I'm gonna defer to Jay Ferg right now. Jay Ferg.
Put me on the spot first, huh?
Yeah.
First of all, it's very nice to meet you and little Nugget.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Nugget. See? Speak.
She's a gorgeous little girl.
See?
And she's very blessed to have a grandmother like you that was willing to step up and make sure she's well taken care of. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
As a father myself of a bunch of little ones, well, not a bunch of little ones, but I know how important it is to give those kids that guidance and that protection that they need, and we will continue to do our part to spread the word and share the information about Nugget. I'm gonna post it on my blog and everything, and we're gonna keep this movement going, man. And I will personally be making a donation from all 3 of my companies.
Thank you, Jay.
Nugget.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's
look at her.
Yeah, she's hearing impaired. She has tubes in her ears, so she speaks sign language. I have to teach her sign language. She can hear some, but the doctors say her hearing, she hears as if she's underwater. So you're swimming underwater, you know somebody's up top talking to you, but you don't really can't make out what they're saying. That's how she hears. So she has tubes in. She reads lips very well. She will sign when she's ready. Hi. So she's a little delayed, but she's here.
Well, listen, listen. We wish you nothing but continued blessings, man, and bless you for being the mom that you are, because you know she's blessed to have somebody like you to step up and hold her down. And in this community right here, you know, we always talk about, you know, this cigar community and everything, and helping each other. This is the time for everybody to step up and put your money where your mouth is. And let's all step up and do something special and make sure little Nugget is well taken care of.
Thank you very much.
For sure.
Rob, you have any questions or anything? Thanks, Jay.
Well, first off, I think that it's very commendable of you know, Marie to step forward and be in her granddaughter's life like that. I myself am a girl dad. I have 3 daughters myself, and I love each and every one of them. And you know, it's really something to be said that, you know, when someone comes forward and puts their life on hold and just takes care of what needs to be taken care of, it says a lot about Marie's character. So, you know, I commend her for that. My question is, you know, do you? I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to phrase it, because I'm not very like yourself. Like, did you have to, like you were talking about sign language a minute ago? Did you know sign language prior to Nugget's arrival, and like, have you been taking classes for it so that you could show her and you know, be able to communicate back and forth like that? I know that there's like a learning curve, so you know, are you like, you know, in the process and still learning? And is there anything else that you have on the horizon to kind of help with your duties and responsibilities of taking care of Nugget?
So I know a little. I have a nephew that's 11, and we had to use sign language with him when he was born. But I'm not fluent in it to, you know, get in front of an audience and go word for word. But I know a little. I've had to learn a lot more since having Nugget, the basic things. Read books, take classes online. Definitely, I have been doing that. I have so many hours of classes online that it takes in general just to take care of her.
Okay, so when are you doing classes? I mean, how are you?
Anything
how
about
do you get that
parenting.
done? But when do you get it done?
At night. Sometimes I may get a break, you know, at work. I did have a period of in between jobs where I didn't work for about 3 weeks. I got a lot of classes in.
Okay.
In the evenings, I have my family members come over and sit with her, because the classes that social services provide, you can't be taking care of the child. They need your full attention.
Right.
You know, things like medication management, anger management, things that foster kids go through. Even though she's a baby and nonverbal, I still have to send these classes. It's like, you know, you have to be certified. So it's Rob, to answer your question, it's an ongoing lesson, raising her and being under the eyes of, you know, social services to make sure I'm continually doing it. They didn't just give it to her and said, oh, okay, well, that's it. You know, they do yearly checkups and monthly visits and things like that. So wow. I don't have time for myself. Everything that I do is literally for her. I can't tell you like I had a cigar, because cigar time, if I want to go outside and sit in the car after she goes to bed, there's a class or something online that I have to take. So I don't have the time. A lot of times she's sick. So if I'm not taking a class or trying to get some sleep, Nugget's sick, which requires a lot of care. If I can't care for her, you know, a family member has to help, and that's limited, because Lenessa and Chris said in the beginning, I have to be very careful of who holds her, handles her, breathes on her, touches her, everything.
And Marie, I know you said she was hearing impaired.
Yes.
Rob, you have a follow-up before I ask another question?
Oh, no, go ahead. I've got plenty for later.
Okay, so I know you said she was hearing impaired. What are some other things that she has to deal with on a regular basis?
Oh my gosh, you want me to go through all of them?
Just kind of give us a general idea. And you can read, of course, you can read on the GoFundMe page. You can read the story.
Oh, no, it's just a lot.
It's a lot. We had to kind of condense it, right?
Overall,
surgery.
Her health condition from being born premature and being exposed to those toxic drugs that she was, she's had 43 minor and major procedures combined. The last 8 months, she's had, the last 9 months, she's had 10 surgeries. The last year, she's had 14 surgeries. Every part of her body that you can think of, her hearing, her vision, surprisingly, is very, very good. She has braces on her feet right now because she has something called pronation of the feet, where she's very, very flat-footed. And when she stands, she tends to stand on the inside of her feet. So the braces are to help her balance herself for once she starts standing, or when she does stand.
Yeah, she has been
but then
she,
stuff, right? She also has her feet go east and west. She's beyond 2-footed. Her feet stick out.
Okay.
The braces don't help with that. That's all in the hips that we won't be able to tell. Doctors won't be able to really tell until she's about 9 or 11. So now, though she's wearing braces, she may in the future need mobility aids. She was born with a cleft palate. It's a hole in the roof of her mouth. A lot of kids you see on television, they have a cleft lip, where it's like a split in the lip. Hers was in her mouth. So the first, 6-7 months, we had to bottle feed her with special bottles. We had to bottle feed her sitting upright. You couldn't lay her back because of this hole in her mouth. Food and milk and liquids would go in there and it would come out of her nose. So everything was, very sensitive to, to taking care of her. Just, oh my gosh, she's had a lot. She came home with a G tube, a gastro tube in her stomach because of the hole in her mouth, the premature, the being hooked on drugs, all types of powerful narcotics that we use. She's been on. So because she couldn't eat, she was fed with a tube through her nose for the first 3 months of her life. And literally 4 days before she came home on Valentine's Day of last year, she had a surgery, and that's when they put the G tube in. So I had to bring her home by myself with 111 days of things that she's had in the hospital, Pampers and everything, milk, the G tube itself, the pole that the milk hangs from, all types of machinery. And I swear, the first night we got in here about 9 o'clock, I didn't get this baby situated until about 1 in the morning. I hadn't done it this close in a long time.
Right.
So it was, some things are like riding a bike, you never forget. But sometimes you may forget that trick to do on it. Like you know how to ride it, but you forget that.
Right, it's something they showed you at the hospital.
Yeah.
You have to remember when you come home.
Oh, I have videos in my phone with doctors saying, so this is how you calculate the amount of milk that's left in the body. This is how you calculate what to put in her stomach, because if you put too much, the air is going to go in her tummy. I've had to learn everything. Yeah.
Doing most of it alone.
Yeah.
Chris, you got something.
Well,
we have questions also from our viewers.
We do. We do have. I'm gonna let Rob finish if he has anything else. I mean, I'll be honest with you. For the first time, I probably had a loss of words, and really my there's really just no more questions. It's my statement is just direct. Do what you can to support, to be here, and then for me to get here early to see what goes on firsthand. But not only that, but just knowing the amount of support that is needed, not just from the community with love, but your donation. We appreciate it. because there's a whole slew of medical bills. There's a whole slew of other things that you really, know about that's just behind the scenes. And it would just help greatly to be able to, take what you might, I posted it, might spend on cigars for the week and make that your donation. I mean, we're in the Lenten season and we all have given up something for Lent. And, I'm just asking, hey, if you spend 50, 60, 130, in the week on libations, give that up to support to a good cause. We're going to give a shout out. Lenessa, pull it up. Certainly, but for the people that gave already, notably, I did a live at the box with Raj, and he graciously supported with $2,000, and I appreciate that. And I'm going to call out the rest of the names in a minute. Lenessa got them. Actually, I'm going to let Lenessa handle that and do that. But that's really all I got to say. Just straight, really direct to the point. That's what this is all about. To come back with a purpose, come back with the community, organize an event to help one of our sisters in the league. But Rob, what else you got, man?
Well, I mean, this is, I mean, if you really take and take the stock of our broadcast here, we deal with we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about the cigar community, we talk about lounges, we talk about retail, we talk about wholesale, we talk about, destination herf and going on vacations and stuff like that and libations. But this is the first time in our broadcast history where we've actually done something where we have tried to bring the entire community together to donate to a good cause. And I really do, and we do believe that Nugget is that good cause. That brought me to the Fact Finder 9000. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. So, I was going to break it out. You guys had me. Healthcare costs over time. 1970 health spending was $74.1 billion. Now, that's a lot of money. But of course, you're thinking about 1970. So healthcare in 1970, we didn't have the technological advances back then that we do now. A lot of people watching this broadcast were probably born back then, maybe a few years later or a few years earlier. You don't have to tell on yourself. But it was $74.1 billion. That's how much healthcare costs. On average, it was roughly about $4,000 per person, per citizen back in that day. But now, if you fast forward and you go to 2000, healthcare spending was $1.4 trillion. So here you have, what's that, in the span of 30 years, it jumped $1.4 trillion in health spending. That's a lot of money. Now, of course, you have technological advances and so on and so forth. Technology in the healthcare field just kind of grows by leaps and bounds. A lot of the stuff that was, brought into the medical community was brought into the medical community, believe it or not, from the military. On a battlefield in the military, if you got your leg amputated or something like that, as long as you stayed alive and made it to a medevac site within the first, I think it was something like 20, 25 minutes, your odds of survival were at 90%. And a lot of the stuff that they developed on the battlefield from Vietnam in 1970, and then of course, the 1991 Iraq War, and then Grenada, Panama, and so on and so forth, all those technological advances made their way into the healthcare industry. But that also caused costs to skyrocket. Okay, so you're going to get top tier in the United States, you're going to get top tier medical care, but you're also going to pay for it. Now let's fast forward to 2021. 2021, folks, look at this. Health spending, $4.3 trillion. Okay, that's 2 years ago. So look at that. The highest healthcare costs in any other nation is in the United States. Everyone else, half of that. So that's why you have a lot of people that come to the United States to seek healthcare. We have the best healthcare services in the entire world, but you're also going to pay for it. So the reason why I brought that up with the Fact Finder 9000 is for the simple fact that you can see where your donated money is going to go. You can see when you donate the Nugget that the money is going to be put to very good use. And the reason why it's going to be put to very good use is because she's had over 40 surgeries. and these surgeries are not cheap, and that it's very, very expensive. And so when you donate money to Nugget and her cause, you can see where your money's going to go and the reason why we're trying to bring everybody together to donate for a good cause. So dig deep, reach in your pocket, donate to somebody that really use it, and then pat yourself on the back, because we're definitely patting you on the back for your donations. So we appreciate it.
Man, appreciate
Thanks, Rob. We love the fact finder. I'm glad you brought it back. I wasn't sure how you were going to bring it in today, but I love it. Speaking of medical costs, I do have an invoice here for over $1 million. It's 1.2, in fact, for
111.
all the 111 days. So they put everything on one invoice. We did have some priority partners payments on here, so there was a huge offset of that cost, but certainly there's other costs involved, not just the medical costs, but when you come home, there's costs. When you go back and you have to go through therapy, which is separate, maybe not at the hospital, outside private therapy. There's caregivers who have to step in and help, and daycare costs. We had a question from Shay. Thank you, Shay, for your question regarding what the state is doing to support. So, Marie, can you address the question? Like, what has the state done to support you as far as finances?
Well, the state has provided Medicare, specifically for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Medicare, thank you. Even with Medicare, there are some out-of-pocket costs. I'm not sure if you all can hear her clicking her braces. Just her braces, for example, since she's clicking them, Medicaid pays for the cost of the braces. Get her feet measured, get the braces made to mold her feet. Okay. Thank you. Yay! But the shoes that are needed to go over the braces, Medicare doesn't pay for them. Okay. So guess who had to pay for the shoes? She has one pair of shoes that's $60. For a baby that's not even walking, okay? They have to be able to fit over the braces, provide support. We had to go to Potomac, Maryland, just to get those. You can't buy them on Amazon, and the shoes that Children's Hospital did recommend, she's a unicorn, according to social services and infants and toddlers. Shoes that are generally recommended that Medicare probably would pay for, her feet are too tiny for them. Okay. So the shoe can cover a brace, but she has an inch gap in them, and they look like she's wearing her big brother's shoes. So I had to, buy the shoes, and you got to get for them one pair. They crawl around a daycare. She's got a little pink pair, and they look like tar from her crawling around them. So a lot of things Medicaid does pay for, and priority partners or secondary insurance, but there's a lot of stuff that I have to pay for too. Some things social services will reimburse for. I want her to swim. She loves water. Medicaid does not pay for the plugs that she needs that need to be special made. She can't get the ones from CVS because they're too big. She has to get her ears molded. I have to pay for those.
One of the things that probably have to be noted is that now that she's the primary caregiver and legal guardian, if she makes a certain amount per year, that precludes Medicaid from paying for a whole lot of stuff, because then she has to come out of pocket because now because we're dealing with social services. So basically, it's based on, some of it's based on your income, and so there's going to be a lot of things that may be covered. Then there's going to be a lot of things that's not going to get covered, because they're going to say, oh, well, you don't meet that criteria for this particular portion of the bill, so we have to, you have to pay this particular percentage. And so, and hence, this is, the reason for the fundraiser, et cetera, and to help out and defray some of the costs that she has to pay out of pocket, which I knew about the braces because we had discussed this probably about 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah. So which about 3 or 4 months ago, this fundraiser was in the works then, and we wanted to get it, rolling, and we're just now getting to it. So thank God for that, and we appreciate you Lenessa, I think if you
Time
want
to go over the donation.
yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, so again, we have a GoFundMe. You see it across the ticker on the screen. It's GoFundMe.com and then raise funds for Nugget. So if you just go there and search it, you can find it too. Please be sure to share that link. Also, I just want to go over some numbers. So we started the fundraiser, a little over a week ago. And right now we're at $2,645. And we have a goal of $10,000. So we really need support. We will be keeping the fundraiser open for an undetermined period of time. But we definitely want to reach our fundraiser. And we had a large donation that came in from Raj Singh at, we have a new name, The Box Lounge in Waldorf, Maryland. So we really want to thank him publicly. We're here together. I know Marie has thanked him personally, and we want to definitely thank him for his generous donation. And we have some other shout outs we want to do for folks in our cigar community who donated and outside of the community. Thank you to Erica Robinson, Lisa Ramsey, Jacqueline Smith, Aaron Dixon, Richard Walmer. We have Valerie Little, Michael Diggs, Michelle Henderson, Jonetta Grimes, Bertha L. Rice Riley, John Watson, LaShawn Queen, Lisa Malloy. Just want to shout out those folks for their generous donations. Again, please share. We do plan to give a donation from the Smoking Jacket Podcast crew. I know Jay said he's going to donate from his 3 organizations, and certainly we will follow suit. So here she is front and center. If you guys can see her. Here is Nugget. And she's doing so well. She's doing so
Nugget.
Good job. And she loves shades. Her shade, you have to put her shade in her shade. She is so cool. She's a cool,
AKA Hollywood.
Cool kid. Look at Hollywood.
You don't want them on right now?
That's awesome.
But she loves her shade. She loves sitting in the pool. Getting in the pool. She loves water. She loves church.
Start already, huh?
Yeah.
Looking in the mirror.
Yep. Sitting by the pool, relaxing.
Right, how many pairs of shades does she have? Her and all these different shades in her pictures. At least 3. Okay.
She'll tell you the ones that she wants to wear. Sometimes, mostly it's the pink ones, but she like the black. She loves her shades. She won't go outside.
She's so strong.
She doesn't like going outside without the shades.
Okay.
It's a part of from when she was born in the hospital. She had a room in her hospital room. It was dark other than the light, from the light bulbs overhead and heated lamps. So when she was born, just coming home, she would just always do this when we would leave to go outside. She would hide her head in my shin. The sunlight bothered her. So I just started, I said, let me get her a pair of shades.
Okay.
And I got her a pair of shades, and then she wouldn't take her head and put it inside my shoulders anymore. Yep. So that's how long she's been wearing her shades. She like looking into the sun. Who does though? But yeah, she will not.
Oh. So you mentioned daycare earlier. Is she in a special daycare or?
She's in a residential daycare, not a daycare center. We did try a daycare center, and the daycare center knew that she's listed special needs from the state of Maryland. She's a special needs child. Okay. Special needs isn't always a a mental handicap. She has the physical thing that her sicknesses and illnesses and ailments that she's going through. They label her a special care baby. She does go to a daycare. Her daycare provider is a nurse.
And the state helps with the daycare cost?
The state helps with the daycare cost.
Okay.
Anything that's over the amount, if the state pays $299 a week, the daycare is $350. I have to pay that $51 difference. Yeah, because of, as Chris was saying earlier, they have back how much you make as well. So everything's not free. But yeah, she's in a daycare where her daycare provider is a nurse. Kids get germs and things like that, but her daycares, they are sure to, if she's falling on the floor, they wipe her hands. She had got sick one time. Someone had sneezed. and she had caught a cold, and the cold turned into a respiratory virus, and she was in the hospital for 7 days. So a cold, you and I, we can get in the bed, eat soup, drink orange juice, 2-3 days, start feeling a little better. She starts getting worse right away. Yeah, she also suffered from sleep apnea. When she had the hole in her mouth, she would stop sleeping. Her breathing would stop 32 times in one night.
Wow.
So with the surgeries with her ears,
something like
well, she only does it 3 times a night now. So she constantly, you know, she gets the sleep studies where we have to spend overnight at Jules to monitor the apnea. But I do have a monitor. My mom had suggested, she's like, instead of getting up every night 5-6 times a night, going in there, just get a monitor so you can try and get some sleep.
Right.
But every little call, I'm jumping up. I think it was about 4 weeks ago. We were in children. She was in her crib in the middle of the night. She was coughing, and you know, I'm gonna lay there for a second. And within 30 seconds, the cough got worse. And I got up, and she was struggling to breathe. She had something called croup.
Strong.
Yeah, croup. Yeah, that was out when we was little. Yeah, and the croup turned into stridor. Her throat was closing in. So I have to pay special attention to her, where some parents, I'll give you a drink of water, your cough will go away. Her throat was actually closing in.
Wow. Almost like a child who's with an allergic reaction, like her throat was closed.
She was asleep, and just, you know, she had a little runny nose earlier that day, but her catching a cold turned into.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Marie, I have a quick question for you. Does the state of Maryland, or where you live, do they provide you with respite care at all?
They do have respite care. You can get up to, I think it's 7 or 10 days a year. In Nugget's case, I can apply for extra days if needed, if I needed a vacation or travel from work. I think it's 14 days that I can get.
What's respite care?
Respite care is a home, another home, like a foster home, designed to take care of kids while the parent gets a break.
Wow.
You need a break.
Okay.
You know,
I wish I had that when I was raising my son alone, and he had asthma. I mean, he wasn't deep special needs, but he had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
PhD, asthma, food allergies, and I was up all night. You know, nothing like what you're experiencing, but
yeah. So they
nice.
do provide respite care, but the flip side to that, Rob, is knowing the person that, you know, your child is going to for that weekend or them 3 or 4 days, trusting that person, although they have training or they may be a foster or they've done background. You know, as with any child, you know, you want to make sure the best person is taking care of your child while you go and have a drink, have a cigar, get your hair done or whatever. So, you know, I'm a little hesitant on using it unless I really, really need. So I mainly just rely on my close family members that, you know, will do just about anything they can to help with her. So when I get my hair done, or, you know, need to just get a day of beauty, 10 times out of 10, she's going with me or she's with family.
No, stop it. Your hair looks fine. Listen, the only reason why I ask is because, you know, my ex-wife, her son is autistic. And so we had wraparound programs and stuff I had to get very familiar with very quickly. And so, you know, respite care was one of the things that I learned about very quickly. You know, as far as like, you know, different types of services out there that they offer for children with special needs. I'm very, very shocked that the state of Maryland only offers, you said, anywhere from 7 to 14 days a year.
A year, yes. You can apply.
That's totally unacceptable. Yeah, that's totally unacceptable. I think that's unacceptable. The reason why I say that is because it should be anywhere from, you know, maybe 5 to 10 days a month where, you know, and the reason why I think that's very important, respite care is very important, is because you're not just taking care of Nugget, you have to also be able to take care of yourself. Okay, because if you get sick, if you get burned out, if something happens with you, then that impairs your ability to provide the excellent, you know, grandmommy care that Nugget needs, you know, that has come to rely on you for. So your care, as far as like, you know, being able to go out and relax or just, you know, sit on a rooftop and watch the sunset, those type of quiet moments are just as important for you as Nugget's care is for her. So I definitely plan on writing a letter to Annapolis because that's totally unacceptable in my book.
Shay has a question, and her question: has it been hard to transition into working from home or caring for her?
Actually, Shay, I get up and go to work every day. I am not working from home.
And I think you answered this question. Do you ever step on your patio to do your class and put your cigar while she sleeps?
Nope. Nope. The only time I get to smoke a cigar is in the morning after I drop her off from daycare, and it's a process to do that. I drop her off from daycare, and I have about 11 miles to go to work, which takes a good 25 minutes to go. So I have to smoke the cigar when it's 23 degrees outside, have the window down a little bit.
And the rest of it probably goes to waste.
No, yeah, I have a special cover for her car seat because the material was cloth and the smoke can get, in the cloth. So I have to completely cover her car seat, get in the garage at work, leave the windows down so the car can air out. And if I don't finish the cigar, I better take a lunch break and finish it because I can't smoke on the way to picking her up because the smoke will still be in the car. So no, I can't step out on it. Stepping out on the balcony because if there's an emergency in the middle of the night, I can't wash my hair every night. The smoke will be on me. I don't care how much you get under the blow dryer and put some spray on it. It's still going to be a lingering smell of smoke. So she would literally need to go away for about 2 days for the weekend for me to get some cigar time in.
You can barely talk on the phone with Marie. Marie is like, well, I gotta go. I only have 15 minutes. I mean, how long is this going to take me? Because I gotta do this for Nugget. I gotta bathe her. It's a whole process. Every day is a routine. Child, but every routine is more intense.
So I have a question. So my question is, so what are they telling you the long-term prognosis is for her in terms of her growth and development at this point?
For one, that pilot that we were just talking about, even though she had surgery and they repaired the hole in the roof for her, it's a possibility that hole can open up and they would have to go in there and close it again. She also, when she was born, she had something called micronathia, which was the underdevelopment of her lower jaw. So kind of like an overbite of the teeth. Her upper jaw extended, but the lower jaw was pushed back. So she had to get metal plates. Literally, they had to cut into her skin, cut into her gum, and metal plates and screws in her jaw to help extend her jaw. It's a possibility that she may have to get that surgery again as well. So it's no definite time. Oh, about 9 she'll be in the clear. There is no definite time. Can you excuse me? It's bedtime, but Nugget's hanging in there.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't think Nugget was this long. She's done phenomenal. She's had these strange people in her home.
Oh yeah. Well, again, I know I've been quiet. This is probably the less time. Lenessa, she's probably saying, "Who am I sitting next to today?" But it's just really some things are just disheartening, and when you have this certain feelings for just along with babies going through, and I woke up this morning and I'm like, man, didn't want to get out of bed, had some elements going on, and then, immediately thought about Nugget. I was like, you know what, I ain't got nothing to complain about. Let me get up, let me do this, let me get on the road. And who I called early in the morning, Lenessa. If I got to get up.
I'm like, what, Chris? What you want now, Chris? I know about the show tonight.
Yeah.
I know you and me gonna have to talk, man. I'm retired, but that doesn't mean I get to sit around all day and wait for you to call me. I'll get a phone call at 7:30 in the morning from this guy.
Wow.
I don't go to bed until 7:30 in the morning now.
Man.
You called me at 7:30 in the morning.
I call this dude no more, man. Yeah. Well, look, people, the GoFundMe link is at the bottom. I would implore you to just, go make some donations, do the best you can to get close to our $10,000 goal. And I will say,
it went up. It went up.
You went up?
Yeah, it went up a little bit.
All right. Y'all coming through. Thank you, folks. Appreciate y'all. All right.
Thank you, Jeffrey Oden.
Hey, all right, Double Dog. All right. Leave it to the Marines to come through. But
you need them.
Hey, we just thank God for one, being able to be here to do the show. Thank God, co-hosts for their willingness to step up and do what we do. And we are going to, we over the next couple of weeks, we got some very good round shows. Jay Ferg, I want you to get the Wembleys out the way. And then the very next show that we have after that is on human trafficking and sex trafficking. Very important topic. And because I think our young ladies need to be aware, our young girls need to be aware. Matter of fact, one of the biggest things today is traveling abroad. I know groups of ladies that like to travel to certain countries are kidnapping women and men. And so we need to know some of the signs, what to look for. Lenessa?
Yeah, so Marie, I know you're feeding Nugget now. I know our time is up with her because like I said, I didn't think she would last this long.
I know because she doesn't get down now that she's crawling and trying to stand. Mm-hmm. She lasted a very long time.
And it's dinner time, and then of course
she ate dinner.
Oh, she
had a bath.
Okay,
we switched our routine to be able to, sit down and talk to people that has, open their hearts and open their pockets to help support her. It was worth, switching our routine some. I just can't control the sleepiness. Right, but yeah, she ate. Chris actually called and said, "I'm outside." I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's eating. I haven't even put her in a tub yet." And it was like 6:10 or something like that. So
this girl was moving.
We switched everything around.
Slow down.
She could, sit here or get down and play and not interrupt her bedtime too much.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for accommodating.
You're welcome. I'm gonna see her troll or something.
That's all right. She's in her zone now.
She's watching her movie.
But thank you again for everybody who's donated. Please continue to donate and share. We really appreciate everything. Again, this is the Sister of the Leaf, and we want to support as a community. Like Chris said earlier, take a couple of dollars that you would normally spend, maybe more than a couple, at the cigar lounge or having a cocktail or to a dinner, and donate to a worthy cause. Our Nugget, our Marie, and then follow her story on Facebook. Marie is on Facebook. I think she came off for a period of time, but definitely you can follow her story on Facebook because Marie posts a lot of pictures. Even when she was in the hospital, we got to see her journey. So thank you so much, and thank you to the co-host here of the Smoking Jacket broadcast for being available, and we're back for the year. And back. Again, the 1 year anniversary, and again, also happy Women's History Month. All the celebrations out there for Women's History Month, and certainly we have history today with a strong grandmother who's taking care of her Nugget.
Matter of fact, let me give a couple of shouts out. Vanessa Hill, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you, girl. We celebrated our birthday in grand fashion at the box. Stay tuned for the change of name, the official change of name, which I think I'm gonna call Roger. I'm gonna cover that. And we thank Cheryl. Thank you for coming on. Orlando, Florida. Canetta Cabo, bless you, girl. Thank you for coming on. Mike Ware, hey man. Thank you for coming out celebrating with me on the 13th, on the 12th actually. Appreciate you. Marion Lyles, right? Smoking Mirrors. All right, appreciate y'all. Lenny Wood, man, always glad to have you on. Always glad. Shanta Marsha, appreciate you.
Hey, Kyle.
Huh? What'd you say, Rob?
I said Lenny Wood needs to make a donation.
Lenny Wood, I'm calling you out, man.
I'm calling you out, all man. The way out.
I'm calling him all the way out. All right, Lenny, man. You on the carpet now, bro. Shanta, good to see you. James Teller, man, appreciate you. Marjorie Denny, man, appreciate you. Lisa, Neil, Prue, hey. Bill Perkley, man, hey, appreciate you and your donation. Michael Green, one of my live brothers, appreciate you, brother. And Russ Crockett, Deshaun Cruz, appreciate you. Keith Campbell, thanks for coming on. Donna, the boss lady, boss queen of the league.
Hey,
all right, yeah. What's going on with you? You back from Atlanta? And Kathy, appreciate you. Kanyetta, Annette Rollins. All right, babe. Appreciate you.
And some more donations just came in.
Right,
thank you, Mary, for your donation. Thank you, Catherine.
Kathy, appreciate you for your donation. Bless you. Eric Cantu, my brother, what's going on, man? All right, man. Bless you. Man, I hear you, man. I hear you. I think people are getting out of focus here. He wants my seat, Vanessa.
Okay. That won't happen.
All right. So, man, look, a great time, a great moment to be able to see this little one in person for the first time. Oh, man, such a precious gem and jewel. So Lenessa, I'm gonna let you close it out.
All right.
Final questions, and anybody got anything? And we're not gonna keep y'all long. Tell you like Elizabeth Taylor told her husband, I ain't gonna keep you long.
Sounds like me.
Oh no.
So Rob and Jay, do you have anything before we go? Anything for our viewers or to say to Marie? She can hear you.
She can hear you.
I just want to say again, kudos to you, hats off to you for doing an amazing job, and we will continue to push this, and we're gonna make sure that we are here pushing the agenda and make sure Nugget gets the care that she needs, and God continue to bless both of you and guide both of you, and just keep giving you the strength to keep going, because it's gonna take strength every single day to keep going, man. And we just, just give you the strength, man. Just keep going, and we got your back.
I need every prayer. Thank you so much. It's so important. Thank you so much.
Well, to you, Marie, I want to say that I'm not surprised. I've known you for a number of years, and you're one of the strongest women that I've ever met. So I am not surprised at all. I think that Nugget is in very good hands. And I commend both of you. I pray for both of you. And I'm going to make a donation myself very shortly here. And I hope and pray that, God continues to bless the both of you. And I hope that she lives a very long and happy life. And when she gets to be 25 years old, she'll be able to look back and smile at everything that, what's going on now. Done for her.
Thank you. You want to say bye-bye and speak?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, one of the things that make my comments and let Lenessa close it out. One of the things I believe is that this child, this baby, this little one, this great one has purpose. And I believe that whatever that is, I don't know what it is, but I believe that whatever it is, it's going to be great. She has fought the good fight and is continually fighting the good fight. And so that's why I believe that through it all, through every storm, through every rain, every thunder, shower, every bolt of lightning that may come this way, the sunshine is here, and it's going to be here to stay. So we thank God for that. Our prayers go out to you, Marie and Rael, Hollywood, Nugget, and this year for the Smoking Jacket broadcast is a year of purpose, and we're gonna make sure that we have some meaningful, purposeful shows on in connection with cigars. Also, we're gonna not leave our cigar format, but man, every time I think about this particular situation and time right here, we need to bring purpose to the table. We need to make our communities aware, and we need to have some relevancy and some awareness in what we do. And so
with that, I will close it out to say thank you for all our viewers. Thank you to the co-hosts. And again, it's all about supporting the community, whether we're supporting your lounge by being there physically smoking, or supporting someone outside of the community who can't be with us. So thank you again, Marie and Nugget, aka Hollywood, for being with us today.
Thank you.
And please keep those donations coming in. And share. Thank you, and have a good night.
That's the most important thing. Share. Please share this broadcast and to your friends, to those. And we're going to keep it running. It's just not for tonight we're going to keep it up until we reach our goal. And we appreciate the donations that have come in thus far while we were on the show. And God bless each and every one of you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Have a good night.
Good night.